All right, everybody, it's time to wrap this thing up. So we're gonna read the responses to Tony Dokoupil's tweets by other people, just like we did with Craig Childs, right? And they're pretty. Some of them are pretty funny. Some of them are pretty good. So Tony does his thing, and some guy says, "Oh, you're the man from back east, right, Tony?" Okay. Tony Dokoupil responds kind of funny on Tony's part. He says, "The only buried treasure I'm looking for is my father's drug money." See, this is when I know I'm from a completely different generation. Jay says, according to Fenn, the treasure hunter is anonymous. He sent a picture of the treasure to Fenn's email. Suspicious. Landy says, Fenn does not own San Lazaro Ruin anymore. He sold it. It's my opinion that indeed his treasure has been found. I've been following this story and bought a copy of The Thrill of the Chase. The very first day it hit this market, my gut always told me it was in Yellowstone. May have been. May have been in the Wyoming section of Yellowstone. Absolutely. Sedge says, well, if it's there, someone should find it before it goes boom. I think they're referring to Yellow. You know, you read stuff and you have to think, right? At least I do. Since I just mentioned Yellowstone, I assumed Sedge meant the volcano could blow up. You know, one time someone asked Fenn about the volcano and how much it would affect the treasure, and he kind of gave this kind of, I'll see if I can find the quote and I'll paste it if I find it, but he didn't seem overly concerned about it. I mean, if that volcano, it's a super volcano, if the super volcano goes off in Yellowstone, forget the treasure. The treasure's gone. I mean, that part of the country's gone. And then the cloud that it would make and the ash and everything would really, really screw the world up. Man. Michelle says, absolutely amazing information. Grave robbing is wrong, but sounds so adventurous. It's kind of odd. All right. Cherokee says, when they dig up my... Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to give the whole name because now it makes more sense. Cherokee Witch says, when they dig up my ancestors, it's archaeology. When they dig up my ancestors, it's archaeology. When I dig up theirs, it's grave robbing. Well put. I don't like the idea of grave robbing. I guess no one's gotten the point. But then I'm not a treasure hunter. I mean, I'm not an archaeologist. Did I ever tell you the story when I was out in Colorado and I went to the Morrison Natural Museum of Natural Field? It's a little museum. It's a dinosaur museum. It's all about dinosaurs. They have a famous guy that works there. Just a second. They have a famous guy who works, a famous dinosaur hunter who works there, dinosaur-born hunter. He's been on Discovery Channel, he's been on National Geographic. If you saw him, you'd recognize him. He wears a kind of one of those old kind of field cowboy hats, and he's got the beard, you know, the big beard, and he's got the long gray, yes, Tober, I'll go close the door. He's got the long gray, you know, ponytail. He looks like something out of Indiana Jones, kind of, except... Are you going up? Okay, I'll be back in a second. Of course, Tober's beating the crap out of the kid. Tober, stop it. Some people get upset with my cats. They say, would you keep the cats out of your videos? And I'm like, well, no. It's not a bad idea, keep them out of the videos. Sorry. Ever since I got this table, you know, with the IIWII Productions studio renovation, It's been, now October's on top of my notes. God, it never stops with these guys. Anyway, I went to the Morrison. It was when I was in Denver doing the Molly Brown hunt, Molly Brown's Southern home. I went to the Morrison Natural History Museum. Maybe that's, it's just, oh my God. They wouldn't start replacing my roof without telling me, would they? Oh, they're probably checking it out because they're going to replace it. I live in a condominium. One of the few things about condominiums I really like, well, there are a lot of things. When I was younger, I used to play tennis, and we got a tennis court, and we got a pool. And of course, I live in a lake, so I had a boat, and blah, 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 blah. Basketball court was never really used because they didn't have anything behind the backboard, so when you shoot the baskets, it goes into the grass. You have to go chase it. Didn't like that. But you get your landscaping, you get your garbage picked up, and any exterior stuff. So right now, all our roofs are being replaced, which is kind of cool. It's probably about I don't know what it would be normally, probably about a $6,000, $7,000 job if I paid for it. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, they must be checking it out because we're having the roofs replaced. I know mine's about due. But anyway, I went to this museum, Morrison Natural History Museum. And I walk in and I meet this guy. He comes down to like get a Coke or something. And I recognized him because I've watched dinosaur hunting shows of dinosaur bones. And this guy, like I said, I'll put a picture up of him. You'd recognize him. And man, there was hardly anyone in the museum. And he was giving every like half an hour, if enough people showed up, he would take upstairs to his lab and show you what he does and kind of talk about dinosaurs and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I think I'll stick around for your tour and stuff. He goes, well, what brings you here? You really into dinosaurs? And I go, no, I'm treasure hunting for Forrest. Man, the minute I said I'm treasure hunting, this guy just goes. And at the end of the tour, after we got about 10 people were in the place and he gave his little tour, he said something like, we've all been a very good group, except for one of you. And I just kind of went, I don't think he likes treasure hunters. It's the old thing, archaeologists versus treasure hunters. People that are looking for dinosaur bones that don't like people that are just out there digging crap up. Maybe I was overly paranoid, but I'll tell you, when I told him I was looking for a treasure, he looked at me like I was the biggest idiot in the world. Not so far off the mark, but he didn't have to make it so obvious. Okay, so someone else said, yeah, so Cherokee Witch said, yeah, when they dig up my ancestors, it's archaeology. When I dig up theirs, it's grave robbing. That was a great comment. Is this real? Said, after reading through this, my guess is in a few weeks, once the talk of it dies down, Fenn will go public with the info that the picture sent to him was a fake, or upon his death, it gets released that it's still out there. Well, see, that's what I wonder about. Wouldn't that be something, folks, if, when the day comes that Forrest Fenn passes, and I hope it's a long time from now, because God knows, I have a very good friend who died, and she was 97 when she went. And she didn't want to make it to 100. She told me that. I used to go over to the place she was at, the nursing home. She told me, Eric, I don't want to make it to 100, because someone she knew had made it to 103. And she goes, I mean, people are living so long. But she had just lost all her faculties. She couldn't see very well. She couldn't hear very well. She couldn't even really watch TV anymore because of that. She couldn't taste food very well. She was like, I'm ready to go. Which is kind of cool if you think about it. If you get to a point in your life you're just kind of tired of living, I mean, in a way it sounds terrible, but in another way you think, well, that's kind of good, isn't it? I mean, not good, but you know what I mean. If you're just tired of it, it doesn't seem so terrifying, right? I would think. Anyway, what if when Forrest Fenn died, it was announced the day after, oh, folks, the treasure is still out there. Wouldn't that be a trip? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Anyway. Sandy Cat says, you need to read and reread To thrill the chase with a specific map, I feel it has been found but a few years ago. My solve is amazing. The whole book gives clues to the area. The poem directs you to the exact location. Duh. Supposedly. Jeff says, I became suspect of the news when the location and solve were not revealed. I came up with 3 reasons for not disclosing the location and solution. It has not been found. He is planning on profiting from the information and that it was hidden somewhere it should not have been hidden. Public land? Fenn would never hide anything in public land, would he? Fenn would never go digging in public land, would he? Heather says this was most definitely not in the BuzzFeed Unsolved video about Forrest Fenn. I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to go look at that. Prediction says, here I am thinking about the past unemployment report and if we'll hear more as to why the misclassification error wasn't fixed much earlier. But Dr. Hewson has moved on to other What the hell? Haley says, please let me know. I think looking for the treasure would be fun. I like the idea of thinking that it would really be out there. Wow, Haley, you got a lot of catching up to do if you're just now thinking of looking for the treasure that may be out there. And so, of course, having said that, the next comment, Linda B says, I think the same. These guys are now getting into the hunt. Takes all kinds. Molly says, did Matt 8 Amr find it? Kay says, very interesting backstory. Julia says, good news. Good news at hashtag Lauren Magaziner. This whole hashtag thing, I haven't even looked into it. I don't even know what it means. I guess it just means it's where a thread is that follows certain things, and so they just, some of the names though don't really match, you know, so it's a little confusing unless you get given the name. Right Wrong, that's an interesting name, says, I don't believe he buried a treasure chest. Excuse me. I don't believe he buried a treasure chest, maybe his biography, but not a 20-pound chest with 20 pounds of treasure in it. Alan says, so the guy is essentially a 21st century version of Gustav Nordenskjöld. Now I gotta look that up. That's one thing about doing this. I love learning stuff, as you may have figured out. I have to say that someone recently wrote me and they said, I love your videos. They are thought-provoking. I gotta tell you, that was very complimentary to me because I just love learning about all the stuff that goes on in the world. And I love, you might have guessed by calling this channel, It Is What It Is, IIWII Productions. I love learning that a lot of what we think is true is not reality. Thus, it is what it is. It is what it is, reality versus what you think it is. It's another way of looking at it. Well, that's all I've got for the comments. And then this thing, I'll put the link, and I'll show you a picture of his site. He's only got a few subscribers. He's only done one video. This guy, Robert Peternell, Peternell. He's got only one video out, and you may like it, you may hate it. Last time when I took the picture, screenshot of his video, which I'll put up, he had, I think he had 20 likes and 19 dislikes. So there's a real divide among the searchers about this guy's theory about the manipulation of the pictures. Do what you will. I mean, I just thought it was interesting enough to sit through. Wasn't going to hurt me. Like I said, some of it I got the gist. I thought it was pretty good. And then other parts of it I just didn't even follow. I mean, he would show things that I didn't see what he saw. And that's probably why he got a lot of dislikes. Can I think of anything else? I don't know, folks. There's so many things. I think I'm just going to sometimes just pop in with things, stories, kind of a la Paul Harvey. Does anyone know who Paul Harvey was? Paul Harvey would just look at things, current events. You know, someone once said, would you do a Friday video where you just, well, I'm not sure he gave me the day. He just said, would you do a weekly video where you just do the headlines? kind of like the old Saturday Night Live headline update. He didn't say that, I'm saying that, because I'm sure I'd find a lot of it funny, because I just find a lot of things funny. But I'm going to do something because I really just enjoy doing this, and I enjoy the interaction with people. You're the coolest people out there. I have this, the people that watch my videos, I'll tell you this, they're smart. All right, everybody, have a good time. Life's wonderful. Life's fun. I'm gonna go I'm gonna look into getting a metal detector. I'm thinking about the Equinox 800, but somebody said get a Simplex. It's cheaper. It's a very good one, and you might find out you don't really like spending hours and hours walking around not finding anything, which he said, that's part of what metal detecting is that they never talk about. You spend a lot of time out there. Well, no, there's no sound. You go swinging. That's what this one guy said. I saw a ripped up sidewalk one time, and I had my metal detector with me in my car, and I just thought I'd get out. Sidewalks are great for finding stuff, and they had ripped it up, and they had left for the day, and it was just sitting there, and I got out, and I started swinging. That metal detector. And, but this guy said, you're going to find yourself walking around not finding anything sometimes. And I said, well, I didn't say it. But I'm thinking, yeah, the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. That's all I did was walk around not find anything. It's still fun being out there. I can't stop talking. Everybody have a great day. Life's fun. Life's exciting. And let's get out there and have a fun, exciting time. Bye. Tober says bye. He's right here. He's calmed down after that disaster with the camera. Goodbye.